Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, we're going to do it a little different. It's Sabrina, and we're rolling with Diva tonight. I'm at FedEx, so I'm going to play a song, and then we'll play the message, and I'll be back after that to say goodbye and give you guys some pointers. Remember, you're more than enough, and have a good day. Dear God, please help me and others who see their lives as sometimes not fair, or things happen and you're a good person and you just wonder, when is your time? God, you're amazing, you're wonderful. Thank you for making each of us very different, with many different talents and abilities and strengths, and even weaknesses, because our weaknesses can be made strong through you. Thank you for listening to Rolling with the Diva. This is Sabrina Williams, and I'm your host. We're talking about today about feelings, just feelings. Is it okay to have feelings? Is it okay to be upset? Are you being jealous when something good happens to somebody else and you get a little sad because it's not you? I don't know. I think it's in your perspective, and I think it's in your heart. And we all know, and we've all been there. So a great event is happening for someone pretty special and close to my heart and family. And it was really hard for me afterwards to keep smiling, even though I have no jealousy or anything of that person. Then I realized I got in touch with my feelings because I had never had that experience, and probably never will. I'm not God. I'm not a fortune teller, or a voodoo priestess. I don't know, but I think God in our lives puts certain things and allows you certain wisdoms to see how situations are going around you. So for me, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm so glad for that person. No, I'm not jealous, but as I said, I got in touch with my feelings. Feelings are okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to say, oh my gosh, I wish that was me, but not to dwell on it to a point where you become bitter, where you become envious, and it becomes into a raging force or demon, and it causes a relationship to be hurt. No, that's not okay. But it is okay to be not okay. So today, I just say to you, if you have something that you're questioning about, are these feelings right? Sit with yourself, talk with yourself, write it down if you need to, color it out if you need to on paper or in a journal, and be honest. If you're jealous, okay, dear God, forgive me for being jealous and let me repent and go on, because jealousy helps nobody. But the most important thing is that you're recognizing that we are human and we have feelings. Sometimes it's really hard when we're in situations with people or dealing with things that people will try to undervalue their feelings and your feelings, or undervalue your feelings, and that can be very frustrating. So on this first little part that we just talked about, yes, it's okay to have feelings. You need to be in touch with them. You need to recognize them and make sure they're not going to cause a journey or road of bitterness. Now, this next little section we're going to talk about is what happens when people do underestimate and downplate your feelings. How do you deal with that? When you know that you have done nothing wrong to that person, situation, or group of things. First of all, for me, I pray. For those that have a higher power, you can take it to your higher power. But I give it up and know that I have not done anything. Sometimes people are going through their own things in life, and sometimes they're not. They may just be more intimidated by you and can't handle that you're more free with saying what you think, how you feel, and that bothers them, so they'll want to shut you down. But your feelings, your emotions, what you're thinking is very important. Now, do you need to say everything that comes out of your mouth? Probably not, because if we did, we'd have a lot more wars and a lot more fighting. We have enough of that going on already. But it's okay to say to that person, you know what? And I'll give you an example. The other day, I was talking to somebody, and trying to get to know them as a person, maybe as in a relationship, and they told me they were tired of my bipolar mood swings, and went on to say that I think everything has to be my way and everything has to be given to me. And I was like, wow. I thought about that before I responded to them. I thought about it. First of all, I haven't been diagnosed with bipolar, so there's one, because I'm not, and I know I'm not. Two, I cannot be responsible for when people don't like things or they get confronted about something and they don't like it. And a lot of times that's what happens. And some people turn it into this new thing. Everybody's saying you're judging me. It's not judging you. You're just saying, look, this is how I see the situation. This is what I think. This is how you feel. Yes, you have to be careful with the you statements, but we're adults. And as an adult, you need to be able to accept feedback from other people. If you don't like what they're saying, be adult enough to say, hey, I don't like this. Be responsible enough to say, okay, that's I'm feeling this, you hurt me this way, and that hurt my feelings this way. But don't just go off on a person and say, you made me do this, that's what the person did. You made me do this, now you make me curse, you made me go off on you. Nobody can go off on anybody, not unless they want to, or it's a choice. We all have choices we have to make, and you can choose to be a good person with your choices, or you can choose to be a bad person. My son calls it proactive reacting. I love people's terms and words, but I just use it, react and respond. When you choose to react and respond to people, if you choose to react, you're going to be like a boiler getting ready to double over. And my best example of that would be, have you guys ever used a pressure cooker? And in my day, my mom had the little pressure cooker that had the little valve, and it would go like that, real loud, and get to a whistle. You knew it was coming to a boil and it was going to blow, and it was time to put it under cold water. If that's you and people have to put you in cold water or step away from you, you're blowing because you're not in control of your emotions and you're not checking yourself. You need to check yourself and check your emotions, because you can't blame everybody for your emotions. It's not right. It's not fair for them, and it's not fair for you. And the people that allow you to do that are not right, and it's not fair either. So check your emotions. Second thing is, you know what? People need to be real with telling somebody, I'm sorry, but you hurt my feelings. That was really scary what you did, to go off on me like that and to yell and curse at me and to call me names and to say that I had this and this when you don't. I made light of it, and I just said, hey, I'll tell my psychiatrist that you diagnosed me with bipolar. And I was honest. I was like, no, that's not my diagnosis. I have PTSD, anxiety, and mild depression. But and that was it. And I made a joke of it because, you know what? I noticed in today's society, and even as I was growing up, even now, and this has been going on for almost over 50 years, is that people, when they don't like what I say, they want to say either you're an aggressive woman, and that's especially for women who are black, or you are not taking this well. And there's times that I haven't taken things well, but I've grown so much in God and myself that I know now in these last 10 to 15 years, because of my kids, I've been really mindful of my attitude and things that happen. Even more now with my kids, I've been even extra mindful, because I don't want to take out my emotions or anything on them. So nobody can make you do anything. Okay, your kids can make you mad, but you can't go beat the hell out of your kids and leave them with bruises, and that they deserve that. No, and your wife can't make you mad, or your husband can't make you mad where you're throwing and hitting and saying it was your fault. No, it's not like that. You have a choice of walking away, walking out of the room, using a safe word, and a safe word is, I use for my kids when they were little, wail. Okay, you guys need to get out of my face. Wail's here. I'm getting frustrated. Because that's taking responsibility and showing you care for other people. So those are the topics that I talked about today. I'm glad that you guys tuned in for Rolling with a Diva on Thursday. Oh my gosh, can you guys believe already that it's almost the end of the month and it's June 27th? I can't even believe it. I'm just like, wow, amazing. So thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it. You're going to hear some great songs to follow. 2 or 3 really, really wonderful songs. And then we're going to be back. One of them's by Aisha, and one of them's by, I think it was Lady Princess. And then we will be back with a short close and a prayer. But before we go to the music, I just want to remind everyone that 211 in any state in the United States, you can call to get help for counseling, for mental health crisis, for somebody who has suicidal ideations. If you're suicidal and you know right now, I'm going to kill myself, you need to stop listening to this. You need to immediately dial 911 or get to the nearest emergency room. You're wanted, you're cared for. You don't have to end your life because you can't see hope. Let somebody else be that hope for you, and let somebody else hold your hand through this dark process. You're not alone. You're not alone. Jeremiah 29:11 says, God says, I know the plans I have for you, not to harm you and to give you to prosper you and give you a future. Romans 8:28, for everything works for the good of God. I know that depression is real. Sometimes people can quickly move from depression to suicidal, but you know what? You don't have to take your life. You don't have to kill yourself. I know a lot of times people feel pressure on people like, well, you're going to leave behind loved ones. You know what? That's true, but right now, it's not about any of them except for you. What can people do to help you? How can you see that you're loved and you wanted and you're cared for and you're more than enough? That's what's important. I pray that you can see that. So again, dial 211 for housing referrals, for places to get food. Tough times are around us. Don't be prideful. Don't be hesitant. I'm really proud of, I have a couple of friends who were like, hey, I need some help. And I've been there over 2 months ago, hey, I need some help, and I have friends who gave me food. Nobody's perfect. Things happen. I'm still recovering from my hip surgery, still recovering from change. All right, that was a message I played before, but I wanted to play it again to remind everybody you're not alone. You have to check your attitude, and you have to move forward from things that happen to you. Sometimes that's really hard, and I know sometimes it gets really tough, and people don't always agree with your point of view, but you can make it. Hope you have a great night, and we'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye. Any music you hear in the background are people talking. That's not my music. We just have